Somebody has to join. Hello everyone, I'm Ashutosh from Prodigy, and this particular video is about the upcoming Prelims Foundation program. The Prelims Foundation program comprises of two parts. One is the teaching part, the other is the evaluation. So you have a test and obviously classes. The classes will span around 300 plus hours with key focus on obviously the most important topics based on not only the classification given in the syllabus, but also the classification that we can interpret based on the number of years how the UPSC pattern has evolved. Right, being in this field for almost 10 years, more than 10 years now, from an aspirant to almost a bureaucrat to almost so many things, and ultimately getting into the profession of teaching, we have seen a lot of ups and downs regarding the civil services prelims itself, the nature of exam and the kind of students who have qualified in the prelims segment. The prelims, obviously, as you know, was introduced to weed out, to eliminate those people who are not probably sincere, or to have at least a filtering mechanism by which we can have more sincere, probably more academically inclined students enter into the mains exam. Obviously, mains evaluation is very comprehensive. It requires what you can say a very comprehensive assessment of a student's knowledge, not only his information, but also his ability to process and reproduce that information. So obviously, prelims becomes one very important criteria, and not just only a filtering mechanism. It becomes an important criteria. The design of the test, the design of the exam itself is an important method by which we can align these students to the main exam, the kind of students that UPSC desires or government desires, right? So government's policy also, like you said, like you see, the CSAT introduction, obviously from the GS centric approach. Earlier there was optional centered approach to GS to CSAT centered approach, which has become now, because qualifying exam also is becoming critical. Depending upon the nature of the complexity the qualifying exam has. So general studies is one area, right, which will definitely make you qualify and clear this exam, but with obviously a holistic understanding of the CSAT as well. Because CSAT paper is not maths, it is not just aptitude, it is also somewhere cumulative, knowledge or cumulative experience that you have while you are preparing for this exam. Because CSAT somewhat tests your logical ability, right? Not just numerical, not just reasoning, but it tests your logical ability. How do you interpret a particular question or a particular comprehension, and then how you reproduce or able to, predict what exactly is the undercurrent, what you, in the question or the options which are given to you. So it's very important that your general studies preparation and obviously your other papers preparation must have a particular method to be followed. That method is very important because content, information, right, it's all available everywhere. And if information was the only vital factor, then obviously many of the students who have been studying from years and years, right, and obviously they would probably qualify themselves as quasi Google themselves, they would have qualified the exam more easily. So that is not information. And keeping that all these perspectives in mind, we have come up with this particular program, right, where a crucial part like polity, governance, schemes, social sector initiatives, current affairs, certain parts obviously will be taken by me and with obviously my colleagues, right, Dr. Saurav Jain and Mr. Agam, and there are a lot of people, right, who are, some are ex-bureaucrats. someone into this field for the last 10, 12 years, quite known and quite veteran in their own way. So they will be obviously dealing with these subjects, and probably the design of the program, the method of the teaching, the entire pedagogy that we have created, that is more important rather than just the number of hours of class or just the fulfillment of the content of the exam. That is not the criteria. The criteria here is how can a student understand the totality of a subject, right? Polity. So maybe the concepts in polity, you might fail to understand the concepts. You might remember what is Article 1, what is Article 52, right? What is Article 370, 371. You might remember all those facts. But then when you see the question paper, you find that, okay, examiner may not be quite, interested in knowing those facts, right? It will be probably knowing or trying to understand how these facts are interconnected. So, when a question talks about constitutionalism and its concept, rule of law as a concept, the concept of constitution itself, or public policy, or president's election, right, or president vice president relationship, or administrative organization. So there are a lot of possibilities, right? Environment, biodiversity, science, tech, polity, governance, public policy. There are a lot of areas, right, which are gray areas and which create a lot of complexity for students to actually understand in between the lines logic. So this class or this particular course is designed on that, right? We have 300 plus hours of program. The test series is integrated with the Prelims Foundation program, being a very being a system who ourselves are quite conscious of the quality, not only of the quality of the teaching and the content and the method that we use to deliver content, but also about the quality or choice of the students who associate with us. That is also a very important factor. In fact, we ourselves are looking for obviously those students who are committed, who have failed to probably clear the prelims by margin, a small margin, thin majority, sorry, thin margin, and majority of the students who have failed only because they were probably not able to address the requirement of an MCQ based, right, high octane exam, right, which requires your higher intellectual ability. So keeping in mind, we have designed this program. As you can see, it has a basic fee because this particular course also consists of the test series, which is already included. So you can go through two segments, like you can go for the course with the test series. More than 28 tests are there. They are also meticulously designed. They are designed to fulfill certain obligations, like your memory must be boosted with important facts and information. The nature of the question must be designed in such a manner that you are able to understand why exactly you studied that topic. Then the arrangement of the questions, the design of the entire paper, right? Complex to easy or easy to complex, or somewhere, anarchic approach to the question paper, because this way your brain becomes more trained to deal with shocks and different kinds of surprises which you might feel or get in the examination. So this tests are designed that way only. The class is also intended for that purpose. So there is one model of the test plus the class, which actually is the foundation program, Prelims Foundation. And there can be only, or you can just opt for only the tests, right? So considering this, both these segments, right, because there is 300 plus hours of exam class, plus around 28 plus tests, which are designed again, keeping in mind the hierarchy, the types of complexities of the questions that can be asked. A lot of MCQ, practice MCQs, right? Typical content supplemented by current affairs perspectives, how current affairs can be incorporated into an objective type question, and then what elements of that current affairs can be used here, not only just information. So as you know, the exam has moved from information centric to more analysis centric, from fact or data memorization to probably interpretation. So keeping all that in mind, this course has been designed. It will be almost 5 months, as you know. The details can be looked into from the website or the app. And there is, to be very honest, there is a kind of mutualism, a kind of mutual approach towards this particular program, where we are looking for the students whose commitment is beyond doubt, and obviously our teaching would be of probably that level only, where a student not only becomes comfortable with the content but also somewhere becomes comfortable with the idea of the prelims exam itself. So somewhere we are also working on that idea or that logic, that how we can guarantee, how we can make the students qualify, right? Only then probably it serves our purpose. So those who will be writing mains with us, those who will be again guided there. So ultimately, result is one of the biggest criteria that we have, and that is why we are quite choosy in terms of the candidates that we want for this course, right? And as you can see, so we have tests, we have classes, we have conceptual analysis, doubt sessions, basic content, uh, the current affairs, everything is somewhere rolled into one particular module. And we guarantee you that once you are through this course, once you have understood this course, probably the prelims paper would not seem to you that alien as you normally think it is. There are specific ways to overcome the failure, right, which you face because of 1 mark, because of 0.5 mark, because of approaching wrong questions, because of dealing with the question paper in a different manner than what is expected of you, right, not having the right attitude to the MCQ preparation. So there are a lot of things that we need to know, and you also understand that prelims exam is technically a replica of the mains only. That means a person who is not accustomed to the ideas, to the undercurrents, to the different parameters of UPSC, he may also not eventually understand the criteria for prelims exam. So it requires a lot of effort, it requires a lot of assessment. Plus, obviously, for students, many of our students, right, we have waived off the fee to a large extent. Obviously, that is also not our purpose, right? Commercially, obviously, it requires a lot of effort. It has a lot of inputs needed, but there is a good team, a team who is already much more committed than probably the students, right? A team who is willing to go to any length for a student to qualify that exam, and that is the model of this entire foundation program that is called Prelims Target 2024, right? So kindly come up with your queries, your doubts, right, your suggestions, or maybe to an extent I would say your inclination and inspiration towards this program, which we are going to probably cater to. It is starting uh, around 15 December, and first 15 classes for everyone we have given that, okay, anybody can come and access, read it, listen to it, right? It will be starting with two major areas, polity and environment, so that you can have obviously a look into what is the way of teaching that we follow, also how useful it is for you to uh, probably go through this method that we follow. And till now, whatever you have been doing or whatever possible commercial models are available, right, we'll try to somewhere overcome them, those limitations, right, through the quality of teaching that we follow and the method that we have developed, evolved over a period of time. So thank you so much, right? Looking forward to meet you in the classes. All the best. Take care. Thank you.